So I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't have nothing to pass around for people to put money in the bucket don't mean I ain't doing God's work. I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Because these ghetto kids ain't God's children.
I started practicing vegetarianism when I was like 19. I didn't even know what it was. I just wanted to try it. But other people don't. That's not black shit. A long time ago, that's being healthy wasn't black.
That's not nigga shit.
It
always was black shit.
No, African. It was African.
But brother, you keep regulating black people to Africa. Black
people
bigger than Africa.
No, black people started in Africa. So-called black people started in Africa. No, humanity started in Africa, brother. Humanity itself. Humanity. You know Africa's the only place rooted to this planet?
I've heard that before, but...
Only place rooted to this planet. And it just so happens that that's where humanity started. Maybe we should take a step back and realize that we was born in the garden.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but not just black people. Humanity was already born in the garden.
But there was the first person that came... Look, that doesn't... at that point, I understand you don't think that matters. It doesn't matter.
No, because what's that going to do? All right, okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, look, this is what we're going to do. Right. Every black people accept their history. Let's say that happened.
Right.
Fuck is that going to change? Every black person all of a sudden believe all the black shit that everybody been telling. What's that going to change?
It'll bring solidarity, bro.
No, it won't. Because a lot of people know this.
Bro,
I knew this.
You can't give give a hypothetical situation and then give an absolute result.
But we know this.
A hypothetical situation can have a hypothetical result. Am I right?
What happened with this?
If you say that if every black person has knowledge of their history, you say that they won't have solidarity, I'm giving
but what happened with this nigga?
Answer.
What happened with this nigga?
That brother came at an early time, man.
You see the fucking excuses? I don't get that, but I don't give nobody excuses.
He came right after
slavery. I don't give nobody excuses. Okay.
You can't talk to people right after slavery.
This sister and her brothers long after that. And this wasn't right after. Long after that. A lot of people disrespected him, brother. This man just died a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking little baby got more views on YouTube than him.
That's right.
What you telling me, bro? It's an excuse. They are choosing. Human beings, black or white, are choosing to say, this is not what I want. It's cute. I like it for 15 seconds on Instagram, but I'm not sitting here for 2 fucking hours to get this information, but I will watch the BET Awards. That's a choice. And you can't take that away from saying, the white man. That don't got nothing to do with the white man. That got something to do with you right now. I got something to do with you in your own fucking brain, making your own choice, saying, I'm going to choose to watch football, even though I know they're exploiting black people. I'm going to choose to watch basketball, even though I know they're exploiting black people. I'm going to choose to wear Nike, even though I know they're exploiting the fucking world.
Bro, the only reason why the only 2 people talking right now is me and you is because me and you understand this already.
No, I don't think you do, because you still want to make it black.
Now look,
leave the black shit alone.
When you a black man trying not to make something black.
Bro, where am I black at? What's black? Define black to me, brother.
It's your spirit. It's your ancestry.
Spirit is not black.
It's your ancestry.
My spirit ain't black at all. So you can't speak for me. My genes ain't black.
What you mean? The
African. What do you mean when you say black? I need you to define black. You have no definition because you did not create it. It did not come from Africans. It came from the same people that you're saying are against you. They created a whole program for you. They created a whole Bible for you. They created a whole religion for you. The man who brought Islam to America was white. He was a Mason. You'll find that out. The one who gave it to these to the black Muslims.
Who?
Yeah. White man. He was a Mason, and you'll find out that organization is a Masonic organization and don't teach true Islam.
Come on, bro.
They don't teach what Muhammad taught.
That is not true.
Fact. Don't teach what Muhammad taught. And then even worse than that, they're not for the people, they're against the people. When Dr. Sebi cured his first AIDS patient, he went to them and said, we can help black people because black people have the highest AIDS rates. What did they say? Brother, you're going to cause too much trouble around here.
I never heard
You've never heard that, but I do my due diligence, brother. That's why I'm not a Muslim. That's why I'm not a part of their organization, an Arabic organization. That's why I'm not a fucking Christian. That's why I'm not a part of the religion. Because the religion has nothing to do with God.
I understand.
I get that.
I understand.
The man Wesley Muhammad.
The main principle.
Wesley Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Wesley Muhammad out here telling black people that milk is for them. Milk gonna do them good.
That's right.
Milk is not gonna do you good. Dairy is one of the worst things for your fucking body to exist. You are not a cow.
That's not true, bro.
You are not a cow, brother.
The cow was made to be a human.
That's religion.
No, sir.
That's not
science.
God.
That's science.
No, science is telling you milk is doing damage to your body. That's science.
Science, it's split.
No, what you talking about is business. What you talking about is cool. You know what humans got drinking milk from? Let me tell you,
They've been drinking milk since the beginning of time.
No, they haven't.
Since the beginning of a cow.
No, they haven't.
Cow.
No, they haven't.
Brother,
No, they haven't.
The Bible says, "I'm going to take you to the
You
land."
keep
milk
going to the fucking Bible, and that had nothing. And they wasn't even taught, brother.
Milk and honey.
That was a reference. That was a reference for something heavenly, bro. That was even the spiritual bread, even the manna that the Israelites ate for those 40 years. That was spiritual bread. That was spiritual knowledge. Man still don't know that. Let me tell you what milk drinking came from. When the people of God started to scatter around the world, they had to be pushed to certain places. Those people who knew the God had to be pushed to certain places, and vegetation wasn't growing because those people were meat eaters and didn't give a fuck about growing nothing. They taught the people how to domesticate animals and how to milk cows, and they decided to live off goat's milk and create certain products. The vegetarians did that. And that didn't come a long, long time ago. Like in the beginning of humanity. Humanity were meat eaters. They had no reason to all of a sudden milk a fucking cow. They was killing shit. That's what they was doing, bro. I'm talking about doing human history and moving past all this. Milk not good for you. But they being endorsed by companies.
I just want to put it on record.
But they being endorsed by...
The Christ, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, quote, "Milk and bread are our best foods." See, again, we start with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We start with Allah's words to his message. So if we, Brother Wesley Muhammad, if we, the Nation of Islam, are strong on milk, it's because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is strong on milk, because Allah himself is strong on milk.
When we believe that the milk of a cow, an animal, is sufficient to afford nutrition to a human body, then one has to question that, because I am not an animal. That's common sense, I think. Animals produces milk for animal babies. Human beings, women, females, produces milk for human babies.
We're young and growing up. Everybody wants to try to feed people dairy products and make sure you have milk every day. But the science really now is at a point where that cannot be sustained. There is ample evidence from wonderful investigators like T. Colin Campbell, who clearly showed that casein, which is the major protein in milk, is really one of the strongest promoters of cancer.
T. Colin Campbell is a world-renowned nutritional scientist. In a series of experiments, he was able to prove that animal proteins, casein in particular, promote all stages of cancer growth.
Also know that all the saturated fat and the casein in dairy helps to accelerate and promote heart disease. And then we have this whole problem of fractures in the elderly. So here we have this problem of increasing cancer, increasing heart disease, and increasing fracture. Not a good thing. Dairy really should be out.
The interview and get into the topic.
According to current theories of the evolution of Homo sapiens
are felt to be, that is modern humans, to be about 100,000 years old. The earliest known evidence for the use of mammals for their milk is as old as 6,000 years in certain areas of the world. But in Western European countries, it's about 3,000 years that we have good evidence for the use of dairy foods. Human beings, again, according to evolutionary theory, existed for almost 100,000 years before we started using other mammals for their milk. So clearly, we don't need it. And it's really absurd to argue that any mammal needs to drink the milk of another species. That's just absurd on its face. Milk is a secretion that female mammals make that is designed to feed their babies. Nature, God, whoever you want to pull into this conversation, never intended that as adults we would be drinking our own milk, let alone the milk of another species. The way I look at it, I'm sometimes even reluctant to call milk food. I mean, it's a material that we can ingest. In my mind, it's like using some recreational drug. I mean, it's not necessary. Yeah, it's optional. But it's not something that you have to do or that you need to do. And humans do not have to drink cow's milk or goat's milk or sheep's milk, and it doesn't supply any nutrient that we can't get elsewhere in our diet. Worldwide, the vast majority of humans are lactose intolerant, as are essentially all mammals. The sugar that is in mammals' milk is called lactose. But what lactose is, it's what's called a disaccharide, meaning it's two individual sugar molecules that are linked together into one molecule. Our bodies can only absorb single sugar molecules. So in order to be able to absorb lactose, you have to make an enzyme called lactase that actually splits the lactose molecule into its two individual sugars, glucose and galactose. All infant mammals make tons of lactase because, of course, they have to be able to absorb the lactose in their mother's milk. But as mammals mature and are weaned, their bodies stop making this enzyme. And it makes sense because enzymes are very large proteins that require a lot of intracellular machinery to actually create and then position in the digestive tract so that they can do their function. It makes no sense to continue making an enzyme that you really don't need. And since all mammals except humans stop drinking milk once they're weaned, all mammals stop making lactase as they become mature. That is also true for the vast majority of people around the world. The only people who have become what's called lactase persisters, and that is they have a genetic mutation that causes them to continue making lactase throughout their lifetime, are people who hail from an area in the world where the practice of dairying, using the milk of other mammals for food, was common. In Northern European countries, there's a very high percentage of people who are lactase persisters. And there's also certain East African tribes that have traditionally had a sort of pastoral economy where they used milk, and they are also lactase persisters. But everybody else, just floridly lactose intolerant. And that's really emphasized in this country when you look at people of color. The statistics are as follows. 95% of Asians are lactose intolerant. 74% of African Americans, 70% to 73% of Native Americans, and 53% of Hispanic Americans are lactose intolerant, as opposed to Caucasian Americans, where lactose intolerance is only about 33%. Amongst African Americans, if there hadn't been the sort of rapes of slave women that caused the mixing of European genes with West African genes, prevalence of lactose intolerance will be even higher than the 74%. But clearly, the majority of people of color are lactose intolerant. Again, that's true around the world.